Good afternoon. It's Sunday, Journal 350, T+433, June the 7th. Happy birthday, Dana. I was working earlier and got a text from a really dear friend of mine, and went through those first few minutes of texting until my fingers got tired. Then I just said the hell with it and called him. And we've been friends forever, since 1985, actually. It's a long time. And worked on a lot of really thorny industry issues together over time on advisory councils that we shared positions on. And at a time when both of us were a lot more optimistic than we probably are today. But in the course of our conversation, which really spanned a number of different subjects, not the least of which is drag racing, and dragsters in particular, and a vehicle that they're campaigning, he did mention a motivational poster that he saw that had him thinking about me for at least a minute. And we go back a long way, as I said, and we try really hard to, I think we try really hard to raise each other up, to elevate each other, especially when either one of us might be a bit down or disheartened. The motivational poster, in this particular case, and I'm not generally a big fan. I think I'm a bigger fan of non-motivational posters. You know, the Eddie motivational posters, because some of the motivational posters are pretty cheesy. But I'm not sure that this one was. The sentiment, the poster read, "A pessimist complains about the wind. An optimist expects the wind to change. A leader adjusts the sails." You know, you got to think about that for a minute. You really have to. It's particularly appropriate for this particular time. I said before, I'm not a huge fan of motivational posters. I mean, you know, the pessimist sees a glass as half full, you know, as half empty. An optimist sees the glass as half full, and an engineer sees the glass as underutilized. So, you know, you work that out for yourself. But in this particular case, it kind of makes sense. I mean, the whole world is going through, you know, the pandemonium of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the turbulence surrounding it, the debris stream it leaves behind it, which is profound. It can't be, you know, just swept away. Job losses, you know, across the globe as far as economies go are unprecedented. I mean, realistically, we're going to recover, but nobody knows how long it's going to take. And in the meantime, all over the world, there are people demonstrating in the street for equal opportunity, equal justice under the law, against discrimination. So, I mean, it's easy to be pessimistic, I think. It's hard to be optimistic. But the realistic end-all be-end of this is that you don't have to be either. I mean, I ended the written blog by saying you don't have to wait for things to get better. You don't have to whine about things not being as good as they could be. All you have to do is keep a clear focus on your vision, the future you both want and need, and then, you know, trim your sails and tack accordingly. And you have a better chance of getting there than hanging around waiting for somebody to take you there. I've never been a big fan of that. I've never been a big fan of wait and see. I've never been a big fan of patience, particularly. I think patience has a place in everything we do and everything we experience, but I don't think that means you can't sort of nudge it along a little bit. So when you're thinking about where you are, if you're thinking about your attitude, if you're thinking about being pessimistic or optimistic or realistic, when you get to the realistic part, then it's time to adjust the sails, take advantage of the wind, tack accordingly. It may not be a straight line to where you want to go, but it'll get you there nevertheless. So in the meantime, stay well, take care, stay focused, stay safe, stay home.